Hey everyone, JP here with Centered Golf, and for this video today I'll be doing a review of the Protee VX in quite a bit of detail. If you're considering buying one, if you're in the market for a launch monitor in this price range, a lot of good options out there, so you might find a lot of useful information in this. Even if you have one right now and you're looking to get more out of it and troubleshoot some ideas, a lot of information in this that might help you as well. So before I get into it, I'd like to clarify that my experience so far has been probably a bit of an anomaly. I got mine about 2.5, 3 months ago, and after sending dozens and dozens of reports of every mishit into VX, they eventually just said, hey, we're reviewing it and we'd like to get it back and recalibrate it. So a couple weeks ago I sent it back over to the Netherlands and they actually recalibrated it and sent it back to me. So it's a bit of a different experience than most, because everyone else that I see in the forums just loves everything a bit about it, and from what I was experiencing, I was not liking it. So I'm glad that they were able to take it back and take a look at it. We'll start here just so you can see how to calibrate it and make sure I'm doing it right. I basically have a dot here and a dot here. That's my line, so I just have this line going through there. Pretty easy, so I know that's my target line, going straight there, straight to the screen. So pretty simple. I've already got it up. You just calibrate the world here, just to redo it. I want the hitting area to be as big as possible, so I'm just going to stretch it up. And the screen, both cameras, you can see are monitoring where that calibration board is aiming, and then you just hit done, and it says, all right, that should be straight. So let's hope that is straight. All right, so start with what I like a lot about it is just around the green, all the soft putts, soft chips. The reason I got rid of my original SkyTrack is just because it didn't really do much for that. Those very like tiny little itty bitty swings, really hard to read, and especially to get accurate. This I feel is pretty amazing. They did say when I first sent it that all my crazy reads were because of my weird putter with all these lines on it. So I sent a whole bunch of reports and everyone. Still says weird numbers. You actually see that up there. That was actually just a really horrible swing. That probably was very out to in with the closed face, so I'm not mad at that. And I'm just going to give you a couple sample putts to see. That looks pretty straight. So even though these putts are very accurate, you can sort of see my issue with these is basically face angle and swing path. So if you're looking at the slow motion video, you can tell the face is closed, if anything, not 1.4 open. And that's a pretty straight path. The line of my putter is pretty parallel running with that horizontal line that they have. And for some reason it just says it's way out to in all the time. So I just can't trust those angles on my putter, but for some reason it goes where I feel like it's going. Like that went straight, and that's the most important part when gameplay and whatnot. If you're playing 18 holes, you want to make sure what you do is actually represented on the course, and I feel like it does that amazingly. Sort of match up GS Pro and the Protee, more importantly see how accurate the path and face angle is in a bigger putting swing. Oh man, 79, 80 foot. So that says 64 feet. So on GS Pro it read 72 feet, which is close enough, that's acceptable. My biggest concern is the path of the swing and the face angle. You can see the face says open 2.2 and the path is 2.7 out to in, but if you look at the replay image, it's pretty square both ways. So that's my concern with these. Favorite part of this, let's get here in a little short fairway chip. It's a little 9-yard chip. I'll actually go super short. And you can see what just how delicate and how sensitive this is and what it reads. It's like spot on. that was a, what, 2-yard chip? As you can see, a chip that delicate, reading that precise, definitely one of the strong points of the Protee for sure. One of my favorite parts as well. So we see if I go even softer. Oh, 1-yard chip. I mean, you gotta love that. That's what you get in more higher end launch monitors, that sort of sensitivity to actually read those accurately. That's pretty sweet. And let's see the dreaded flop shot. A lot of monitors have problems with this. I noticed mine actually originally had a problem because the spotlight is right by the cameras up there and the face would actually reflect up there. Sent in a couple reports and never had the problem again. And as you can see, flop shot, solid reading even with the flash there in the face. I'm not too concerned with the path and face angle. They're hard enough to read as it is, as long as the launch angle, spin, and distance is accurate, and it seems like it is spot on every time. So I'm very impressed with these type of delicate shots, the flop shots especially. Next up, I will do more of a distance wedge shot, and you can see 70 to 90 yard shots with the wedges. These, again, swing speed is not very high, so I feel like it's pretty accurate. But I just want it to be close. I don't need to be perfect. Just give it to me close. How's that one look? So as you can tell, looking at these, everything looks pretty solid. Not an issue with these sort of distance wedges. Anything inside of 100, really 120 yards is usually spot on. I would like to sort of point out the images in the top left and top right. I mean, the one in the top right looks great. I don't know why the one in the top left is a left-handed and it's always the same 7-iron. It's either a wood or a 7-iron. It looks like, at least. I wish they had wedges or different lofts so you could actually picture the right club coming through properly instead of that weird image it always looks like on the top left. Just a bone to pick, because everything else on this distance wedge, again, they look great. So let's get a 90 yarder with this guy. That might be more of a half swing, actually. Ooh, off the toe. Oh, that's another good thing too. Impact on irons, pretty spot on. That's a big plus. Impact location, I was skeptical about it, but it seems to be within, you see that one, toe inside, that might be a little closer to the sweet spot than it was in real life there. But it's always within a couple millimeters at the worst. Let me see if I can actually hit the sweet spot and see if it shows it proper. Healy? Yeah. Spot on. Just a couple millimeters inside from the heel. Can't be mad at that. So, again, lower swing speeds, I feel like it's pretty good. It's never going to be perfect with the face angle and the swing path, but I'm hoping when I get it back, it's just a little tighter. I don't mind being a degree off or so. That's completely fine. I can deal with it. But sometimes it's just the side spin and everything is just way off, which we'll get into here as I go farther away. Just leave that face open again. How far open? 4 degrees open with the end out. So this is a pretty good strike. I feel like they got it pretty accurate. I'm just very concerned about that face angle. If you slow it down right there at impact, you're looking at it and it looks pretty darn square to me. Maybe open a degree, 2 degrees max. I mean, to me it looks closed more than open, to be honest with you. So the 4 degrees open just throws me off, and when I'm trying to work on feel, I need to know what's real in order to develop that feel. And the face angle is a big one for me. Attack angle, I'll get into. I think that's a little exaggerated. That does get worse as we swing higher, but that is a common problem with overhead launch monitors, so I'm not too concerned. But let's check out another one. That was dead square. I'll try to do a exaggerated out to in. See if I can do a little cutter this time. See if it actually reads out to in for once. Nice little fade. Out to in 1.1. At least it read out to in. I feel like it was more drastic than 1.1 now. But it could just be my feel today. I'm not gonna critique those numbers based on my feel, because obviously feel is not real all the time. Alright, I ended a 9 iron on that. I gotta get a good one. Here we go. In, open. Okay. Still slower swing speeds here with the short iron, 82 miles an hour. Just a little controlled. And I'm not bad at these. I feel like when I'm playing, these are pretty legit. It's once the swing speed starts getting up that you'll notice here. So I'm gonna get to my, let's just say my 6 iron? No, it's a 5 iron. Alright, so this is where you start seeing, predicting you're going to start seeing some anomalies. Ooh, that's a little thin. Alright, we got to spend a little time on this one. So, first off, we'll start in the left. Club head speed 89, ball speed 117, but it only carried 56 yards. Now, I did hit it thin, but the launch angle still says 9 degrees, so it got up in the air. So I don't understand how it has 1400 backspin and 3300 side spin. Makes absolutely no sense. So GS Pro actually read this as it carrying 162 yards, which makes much more sense. So how GS Pro took the ball speed, ball spin, club speed, and read it perfectly, and this read these weird numbers, I just don't understand. This is an anomaly and a really weird one. Oh, definitely leaving that open. So, again, these are just back-to-back swings. And you can see as the swing speeds go up, you start getting just funny stuff. This is an example of not knowing what to trust. Do I trust the spin numbers? Because the side spin says 950, left spin of 950, which would be a really tight draw. Or do I trust the face angle and swing path? The face angle says 8.9 degrees open and 4.1 path in to out. Just by looking at the replay image, you could sort of see, yes, it was open face, but 8.9 degrees? Definitely not. And it's definitely into out a little bit, but 4.1? I wouldn't know because I don't ever know what to trust on here. As soon as these swing speeds get up, there are very funny numbers. Here's a slow-mo where you can see the impact coming up. And at the time of impact, the face looks pretty square. Maybe open a degree or two. Because based on those numbers, a 4.8 open face to path would be a big push and a slice. So what do you trust? That one stayed open and pushed open. So it felt like almost the same swing, but it read it much differently. Into, out, open, and actually had the right spin on it with the face to path open. So you can see the face is pretty square at impact, but it's actually the ball that causes the face to open because I hit it so far off the toe. So that would lead me to believe that it's reading the face and path at the dotted line center of the ball. I'd say like that's like the max compression time. Still hit the toe pretty badly. So see, that was basically the same as the last one, maybe a little bit more off the toe. But the spin was negative 2,000 compared to the positive 1,200. So I understand the subtleties of a couple degrees and the difference they would make when the speeds are this high. But if you look at this impact video and look at the last swing, they are so close, maybe a degree or two off with path and this and that. But even if they were 4 degrees off, path and face and everything, to have a difference of negative 2,000 and then positive 1,000 on the spin, just does not compute. So this first shot was pretty much par for the course. This is the typical misreads that I see almost every shot, mainly the attack angle. I know overhead launch monitors are not always extremely accurate, but being 8-9 degrees off is, I mean, why even have it if you're going to be that far off, you know? Obviously with this swing right here, that was probably a 0 or maybe even a -1 attack angle to have that low launch angle and that high of spin, and you'll see it go up and down all over the place. And the other is the face angle and swing path. Just looking at videos, face angle looks about right. Into out path I think is exaggerated, and to be honest, 0 degree or 1 degree into out or less would make more sense with the numbers. Because if you're looking at the face to path, if it really was into out that much, then it's saying that that's a closed face to path. That wouldn't produce that 605 right spin, especially with the slight toe strike. That's also creating more left spin. Closed face path would be a left spin. It just doesn't add up. So what would add up would be like maybe a 1 degree into out or even 0. That would have an open face to path. That would produce the 600 right spin. That would make more sense. I'm going to put the ball farther up my stance to try to exaggerate that. So now here's an example of the attack angle at a totally different mistake. I mean, to be hitting down on at -7 and for it to launch 15 degrees obviously does not compute. And then the spin is actually lower with a negative attack angle. So obviously something's amiss here. This is probably more of that 4 or 5 degree upward attack angle that gets that good launch angle that makes sense and lower spins. So attack angle, that's my big issue with it, and hopefully it gets fixed. But it's not that big of a deal. Again, I'm more interested and focused on face and path because that's more of the feel that I'm trying to work on. And if you're not seeing what's actually real, it's harder to develop a feel for what's real. And you just never know. It's a lot of guesswork. So this one has an open face to path, but now the spin is to the left. I just don't understand. And you also see the impact on this one. This is pretty consistent. Right here you can see it struck just off the toe a little bit, but definitely right next to the sweet spot. If you look at the impact red dot, it's way up on the crown, probably a good ½ inch away from where it actually hit on the face. So that would explain a lot if AI actually uses strike location to make the calculations into the swing path and face angle. Since the impact location is wrong, it might just be getting wrong numbers, and that would explain a lot. face all day. So last miss hit here. Again, attack angle 11.4 with a launch angle of 7.5. Makes no sense. Again, face to path, 10 degrees closed, but somehow has a side spin of 70. I mean, 75 is negligible, but still, that's a big hook right there. That would have been a 30 yards to the left all day long. Don't know what to trust. These are not even the extreme misses. These are just the average misses, and that's the reason why they're taking it back to sort of look at how to get them tightened up, and hopefully none of those big misses. All right, part 2. Getting back in it. Gonna go through a little faster this time with less talking to hopefully make this video less than an hour. But got it back. 6 days actually. So again, kudos, Protee. They gave me a 2-day shipping label from Phoenix to Netherlands. Did their thing, sent it back 2 days, and it all did it in 6 days, and I got it back installed. So that was awesome, much appreciative. And I took the opportunity to redo my panels up there. So turned inconvenience into an opportunity. Go me. Looks great. So far, so much happier. All the numbers are looking like the way they should. Closed fast to face to path is doing a draw, open face to path is doing a fade. Makes more sense. Even the attack angle seems to be more spot on. Or just hit it way off the toe. And flare it out. I miss all those onions. Alright, so what do we got? So right off the bat, you can see numbers that make a lot more sense here. Attack angle matches with the launch angle, makes sense there, lower spin. Impact location looks pretty legit, and even the face swing closed face to path with the left spin makes sense to me. All in all, looks pretty good. Well, not my swing, but the numbers actually make sense now. Yay. Let's see if I can get another good one to show you. Actually, more swing speed. Let's get up over 100 here. Oh, way high in the face. Didn't go over this in the first video. Misreads, or actually no reads. That's very uncommon. That does not happen very often. Honestly, probably one in every few hundred swings, to be honest with you. So funny it actually happens in this video. Oh, staying open and flaring open, yeah. Back up to 100 at least. Success. Oh, I'm gonna get his little ankle. Gotcha. What do we got? So once again, looks good right off the bat. Attack angle is a little bit off this time. No big deal. But open face to path, right spin, makes sense. Impact location might be a little bit off. I feel like it looks like I hit it a little bit lower on the face. But all in all, within acceptable parameters. All right, let's do one more just for good measure here. Let's close the face so it doesn't flare open so much. Nice tight high draw. Just a frozen rope. So looking good again. Attack angle again is a little bit off. I feel like that first swing, 3-4 degrees maybe, hitting up is about where it should be. So at least it's not 8-9 degrees off. Main issue here is going to be that face angle. Reading way open, you can look at the strike, and with the even spin numbers, that's probably more square to make everything make sense. So being off 6 degrees there is a little concerning, but I can live with it. I feel like the first time I played with it when I got it back, I wasn't even having any even issues with the face angle like that. So I feel like the updates hopefully be helping to fine tune it, but I've probably I played 2 rounds in here, range a few times, swing speed training, and 99% of the shots seem to be spot on now, so hallelujah. The ones I was seeing an issue with was still long irons though, so do a couple with the 5 again, just like I did before. Hey, just like last time, start off with a thin shot. But, hey, look, it actually read it right this time, carried 163. So important note to make here, you can see the images up top are all with the driver. That's because whenever you're playing gameplay, GS Pro, something like that, whatever club they have selected in there, auto reads in Protee, it overrides it. So since I had it set as a driver in there, automatically came up as a driver on here. Usually auto detect on Protee automatically picks it up pretty well. As far as the numbers go, looks pretty solid. Attack angle maybe a little exaggerated, but just a few degrees, so completely fine. The spin is a little off, closed face to path, but still a right spin. But honestly, I've hit it pretty far off the heel, so gear effect could explain that. So I'm not mad at anything here. Looks like pretty solid, and happy with it so far. Hey, gotcha. Pretty accurate. This is more like it. Everything looks basically perfect. Impact, attack angle, launch angle, face angle, everything seems to make sense here. Pretty legit. This is what I am hoping to see more and more of, and ever since I got it back, I have been seeing a lot more like this. Let's just square one up here. And again, this is what I was expecting and hoping to get when I bought this. Looking good all around. These are the type of numbers I can use to get good feedback and feel confident about more and more strikes. So let's move back towards the putter and see if that has improved. And voila, no more extreme out to in readings. Face is still a little off, but manageable. Now I feel like much better. So same as the last strike, face reading a little bit off. I feel like it's square or closed, but it's reading 0.9 open. Again, not a big deal. Totally within acceptable ranges. Everything else looks solid, even the path, so very happy with the way this is looking now. And I mean, whenever it comes to putters, you could use that impact slow motion camera is amazing to look at this strike exactly, so I'm happy with that. All right, so quick summary to go over the overall experience and review so far. Support number 1, huge pro. Just the fact they're able to take it back and make the changes and get the numbers and get the data to where it actually makes sense now. Huge pro, loving it. Thank you again to Protee. That was a concern. A lot of people were complaining about an old system they had back in the day and they didn't really take care of their customers. Now, obviously, it's been amazing. So that's a huge pro right off the bat. Just made a list here to try to keep this as concise and keep me on track as best I can. Pros list is pretty long, cons list is pretty short, so I'll get straight into it. Setup is also a big pro. Really easy to install, get connected, dial it in. I'm not the most computer savvy person, but super easy even for me. Connecting with GS Pro and all that stuff, super easy. Very glad with the sort of user friendliness of it all and how to set it up. Hidden area is a big plus. It's really big, 2 feet by 20 inches, I think. So big hidden area was a big plus for me comparing to the IXO2, which was neck and neck. That hidden area was a little bit smaller. That was a factor that swayed me this way. Around the green, obviously, I went over that. Those delicate chips and soft putts, reading those, huge pro. Love that. Left and right-handed, that's also a big pro. It auto detects, so it's super easy to, if you have a right and left-handed player, you don't got to go back and forth playing 18 holes. They hit the left-hander, right-hander hits, reads it automatically. Love that. Another big one is no special balls, no RCT balls, no stickers in the club. Wood stickers in the club make it more accurate. I believe that's how IXO gets a little bit more accurate club data, but stickers aren't always ideal whenever you have, friends coming over to touch up all their clubs. So not having stickers and still getting at least some readings, that's a plus. As far as balls go, I found the TP5X. If there's more labels and icons on there, it does get better reading. A little hack for just a regular ball. If you have a logo or something facing sort of towards the camera at a 45-degree angle, that gives you better readings. If there's nothing facing it, there's no reference point, so it's sort of harder for it to read the spins. Whenever there are misreads on spins, that's usually why. So just having the logo facing, that's a quick hack. And then impact location, went over that. That's a huge plus. Not just the red dot, but just having that video feedback so you can actually look and see for yourself. The video itself is a huge pro that is awesome for putts, chips, drives, everything. That's just amazing to have at this price point that it is. What else? The ball data in general. Very accurate ball speeds, spin. That's how it's able to get accurate flight and everything and read real life. So gotta love that. And then software. So very easy to navigate. I'll just jump right in. I believe it's probably the best way. I don't really see a lot of people doing this. I'll do a little walkthrough, navigating the software and explaining, and you can see the entire interface and how it all works. So let's do that right here. So this is the screen that you've been seeing. It's my favorite just because it has the video, the strike location, all the data. You can even see the ball flight there. Very useful, a lot of information to soak in. And then all the data in the bottom. You see all the tiles. You can customize what you want in each tile, lay it out however you want, put the data you need. There's a lot more you can put out there, but this is just what I've customized. This is what I like to have. All the club speed, distance, all that, all spin and angles in one area, just grouped together so it's nice and easy to read and find things that I'm looking for quickly. Up top you can see the different tabs. Next one is swing. Don't really look at that too much. Pretty cool to see the ball, but it's hard to detect the details with the human eye. Range is cool, obviously. A lot of people looking at the ball flight. And it's just one at a time. It doesn't really have multiple. You can't see 5. Might be doing that in the future. This is really cool. You can see the video a little bit enlarged. And really cool to play with. You can actually slow it down frame by frame and look at it in detail. Very cool. So if you are looking to get more specific with your face and angles and path and all that, you don't have to rely on their data. You could look at it precisely to see exactly what's happening. Very cool. And then back up top, this is brand new. So history, this surprised me. I was just going to go through and show you what they're planning to do, but boom. They had an option to record shots here and there, and you can see that when I was clicking that back on April 10th and all around that time, it was recording them, and it just popped up now, which is amazing. You can filter through clubs. This is very exciting, so I'm very happy to have that. You could save your data, save your shot history, and dial it in. Very cool. This is where it detects the club. If you're going to be doing shot saving, then obviously selecting the specific club is much better. It does auto-detect pretty well, but if you can just select each club, then it will categorize it and log it exact instead of just using their auto-detect via AI or whatever they do. So definitely recommend that. This is really cool too. Whenever you're on learning, just starting, it just opens every tab and shows you everything, a tutorial. Very handy. This is where you would submit any bugs. So any mishits, any misreads that you don't trust, you just throw it up, do your title description, boom, send it, and it just goes straight to them. Very cool. And then the settings. This is pretty easy to navigate, pretty self-explanatory all the way through. I don't know what video gamma is, to be honest with you, but interface scaling is really cool. You can customize, see the tiles, the data tiles down there. You can customize how big they are. Easy to work with. And the other cool thing is adjusting the screens. When you adjust the screen, all that stuff moves and fits with you. So it's really handy, really cool to dial in and customize the size you want. And then what was next here? Obviously the displays, self-explanatory. Just going Imperial so you can see. Oh, I wanted to customize that. I gotta go back. And then customize, you could play sound that says ready whenever you're ready to shoot. Customize the shot tracer for every shot. And then the video reference lines, that's on the impact video replay, so you can customize what is shown there. Projected ball flight, the set path and the set face angles and all that good stuff. Customize that. Advanced, this is where you would go back to a previous version. This I haven't really messed with very much. Club detection mode. Image AI or data AI. I might want to play with that in the future. I'm not quite sure what would be more accurate. We'll play with that later. Device, this is just how you connect, calibrate system, all that good stuff. Handedness, automatically detects, super easy. Game options, love these. They are very easy. I just use Protee Play and GS Pro right now, but they're very easy to connect and very easy to use. And you see my putt speed multiplier, I got it 0.85. That was just the calibration I was talking about in the video. And that seems to match up both to a realistic. And shot recording, this is what they just added. So I wasn't messing with it much because I didn't really whatever. If it happens, it happens. Wasn't counting on it. And turns out it is working. And if you look at it, you can see we are working on features to view and use this information for progress reports, bag mapping, analytics, comparison. That's exciting stuff. I can't wait for that stuff to happen. So I'll definitely be recording more shots. So physics is important to note. I'll just start with the top, the green stamp. That's pretty self-explanatory. I did have it down to 5 originally. I don't know when it got back to 8, but 5 was the most realistic before. Automatic putting, that just puts the putter in your hand every time you're in the green. Makes sense. And then this is where it gets a little tricky. When I first got it, all my distances were way off. Really, really short whenever I set the altitude to 1,100 feet. That's what it is here in Phoenix. And when I set in the bug reports, they just said play with the physics to make it realistic. Not the most reassuring way to troubleshoot, but I played with it, and in order to get my realistic numbers that I see here in real life, I had to change the altitude to 3,000 and the humidity to 50. It's obviously lower here and drier here, but that's what I had to do to get the real numbers that I see in real life. Again, not ideal, but an easy fix. I feel like it's what I see in real life now, so that works. And then obviously exit application, that's how you close it. So pretty easy to run through. Everything is easy to read, very fun. I can't wait to play with this more. But that will obviously have to be for another video because that looks like a lot of fun stuff. So overall, very easy to navigate. I love the data it shows. I love the way it explains everything, and it's just easy to digest. and very enjoyable. So big pro is the software in general, especially with what's to come. Stay tuned for that. So as you can see, pretty cool. Actually, one of my cons in this list was limited tools and software, but you can see just from that, they just added that shot recording. Awesome, love to see that. And the future bag mapping and all that analytics they're developing, when that comes out, that's going to be another huge plus. So I can't wait to see that. Easily connecting to GS Pro, E6, I'm sure. Other ones, if they're as easy as GS Pro was, it's a breeze. Gotta love that. Rare no reads. I did mention that in the video. Barely ever happens. Very rarely. Big plus. And also the zero delay. I didn't mention that in the video at all, but you hit the ball, by the time you even look up, it's already off. That's very realistic. I love that feedback instantly. Just feels really real when you're playing a simulated round. Super cool. That sums up the pros. Let's get on to the cons. Mainly, as you can tell, the unreliable club data. After I got it back from them, it is much more fine-tuned and detailed. It's, within the parameters that I was looking for. It's still off a little bit, but now it's just, a couple degrees here and there, and that's manageable, it's understandable. And just my limited knowledge of, a little bit more advanced knowledge of ball flight laws, I can look at it and deduce if it's making sense, and then just, again, look at that video, replay, and see for yourself if you're like, oh, wait, no, that was not as open, or, path and all that. You can sort of see and make more sense for yourself. But that sums up only really 2 cons to list and a long list of pros. At this price point, you really can't beat it. I've seen others come out recently in the last few months that are a little bit less, that don't have as much data. And they're brand new companies too, which is always sketchy. But in that $6,000, $6,500 price range, I don't see much that can beat what this offers. So the big question is, who is this for? Or who's this best for, really? And just my summary, I'd say it's best for anybody looking for simulated golf, having fun, a lot of fun games, very accurate when you're playing simulated golf, so it's perfect for something like that. And even if you're game improvement, of course, it does offer enough data to really help a mid-handicap player tighten up their swing a little bit and look at the numbers to dial it in. I don't recommend it for very advanced players, fine-tuning their skills, just because when it is a few degrees off here and there, I'm trying to calibrate my field to, be a degree or 2 off on my face path and my swing path. And when it's got a margin of error of a degree or 2 off, it's hard to really get that specific feel dialed in. And then obviously giving lessons, that's originally what I bought it for, and I'm not going to be able to really give lessons to the elite players looking at that fine-tuning stuff, but it's still great for mid to high handicap players, beginners, to dial in and have fun while learning. So if you're looking to do something like that, it could work for some sort of lessons and whatnot, but for elite players, an elite system is probably the best to get the most detailed information possible. But that sums it up. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I know it was long, a lot of data, a lot of stuff to take in, but I appreciate you watching. Be sure to like and follow for new videos coming up. A lot more fun stuff, hopefully not detailed reviewing and good and bad and all this. A lot of cool stuff coming, so be sure to follow. Be the first to know when cool stuff comes out. Once again, JP, Centered Golf, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.